Welcome to Mr. Jorgensen's classroom. I'm Mr. Jorgensen, and we are going to look at the London chapter for The Secret River. This is going to be a different video series. We're going to summarize the plot beats of this chapter. It's going to be different from looking at key quotes and themes and motifs. It's just going to really look at the plot and what actually happens. So first of all, I've broken this up into 3 parts, setting the scene, where we sort of get a foregrounding of Thornhill, his life, his background. There's a volta, a turning point, something that goes wrong, changes. And then there's the condemnation of Thornhill, what ultimately makes him leave London. So setting the scene. Thornhill and his family live in poverty in London. It's characterized by squalor and thievery. From the get-go, we see this in action. We see it described to us in very rich description. Thornhill spends his time with Sal Middleton, one of his sister's friends, and gets to know her family, and particularly her father, Mr. Middleton. So Sal's really the only person that can give Thornhill respite from all the harshness of London. So she's a very crucial person for him. Mr. Middleton takes Thornhill on as an apprentice waterman. A waterman is someone who ferries people and goods around the Thames, which is the river in London. And this is the first time Thornhill experiences hard-earned money that's legitimately his, and all of the things that come with that. It's not easy for him. He's working in freezing temperatures. He's working for people who don't recognize him as a human, but he is earning money in a legitimate way. The day Thornhill's released from his apprenticeship, he marries Sal, and they have their first son a year later, Willie. Second part, the volta, the turning point in this chapter. So a volta is just a term, a literary term we can use to describe a turning in tone or a shift in mood. And it kind of fits here with what happens. So the Thames freezes over, and that kind of fits in with one of the motifs we talk about, warmth. And I guess whenever anything's cold in this novel, it's usually bad. And warmth is associated with some kind of raw emotion, some winning that Thornhill gets. So the Thames freezes over, and Mrs. Middleton falls ill and passes away, and Mr. Middleton dies soon after. Mr. Middleton tries to do his best to keep his wife alive, but he cannot. He tries to buy snake oil products, which are things that don't really work and cure anything, but people still sell them to make money. Thornhill loses his boat and all of his money. He realizes that Mr. Middleton didn't actually own a lot. A lot of what he had was leased, was owned by someone else. And the scene in which it's all taken away happens so quickly. It's so instantaneous. And it really highlights the fragility of ownership in a sense. It highlights the fragility of being in that middle of the hierarchy. You know, it's so quickly taken away. The third section of this chapter is the condemnation, the condemned Thornhill. He begins working for Mr. Lucas, and Thornhill hatches a plan to steal Mr. Lucas's goods, which is Brazilian wood. He could sell it for a lot of money and support his family. Mr. Lucas catches him though, and he's jailed. And the punishment for that during this time period was hanging. So Sal tries to help Will desperately to come up with a speech to explain his side of the story. Why did he do it, and why he's innocent, and why they should let him go. But this falls flat. His words fail him in front of the judges. He cannot seem to get his case across at all. And after that, Sal and Will tried desperately writing to a bunch of different lords that Will's gotten to know, and fortunately Lord Hawkesbury, who Thornhill knew, pardons him and sends him to the New South Wales penal colony. And that's where we're going to get up to chapter 2. Thanks for watching.